Hello guys and welcome to TwistNetwork. Today it's me Dan and I'm starting off a new series of Photoshop tutorials and it's going to be how to create signatures. So I might do about 4 or 5. It's just going to be basically showing you some tips and tricks I guess on how to create some nice looking signatures in about 5-10 minutes using renders and some brushes and maybe some effects along the way. So we're just going to create our new document. All signatures should be around 400 width by 150 pixels height. Then you get like a nice rectangle. That's what I found out to be the best anyway. So a good tip is always organising your layers, which you probably see me doing a lot of my tutorials. So let's get our background and then we're going to go place our render. So you can go to Planet Renders and find renders, or you can go on Google Images and type in something and then type PNG after it. So I actually found these really nice Chinese brushes. So I'm going to be actually using them to create some sort of Chinese style background. So I found this Chinese dragon render, which I'm going to be using. So from your render, so I'm going to put this on the right here, on the left, sorry. From your render, you're going to get your colours. So what's the name of this Chinese dragon? So now to do the background, this is going to be the first stage. You're going to select colours from your render, and then you're going to go to your brush tool. Ooh, I've already got the Chinese brushes up. You're going to go to a circle, a feathered circle, and you're just going to make it appropriate to the size, and you're sort of just going to do brush strokes like so, gradually getting darker and fading out. And then we're going to go lighter. And then like almost no colour, like so. And then we're just going to blend this, we're going to smudge this. This is going to be a smudge tutorial. You can just go mental with this. Do whatever, smudge it anywhere. Like so. I'm actually going to get a few darker splodges of colour. And I'm going to stick them up here. So then when I smudge it out, it's got an even tone. And you can get vice versa, so I can take the lighter colours here and then stick one down there and then blend that in or smudge it in. You see, get some different tones going on there. Okay, so that's basically the background. I mean, that was pretty simple, like I said, but it actually gives a nice effect. So that's why I quite like it. I mean, to play around, put some splodges of colour, like that. So we kind of got our background there, really. That's sort of our background done. Now we're going to do the Chinese dragon itself, so I'm just going to duplicate this like 3 times. You just do that by holding Control and J on the layer, and then I'm just going to name these layers so I don't get confused at what I'm doing, and it's also easy for you guys to do this. So now I'm just going to drag the layers below it, so it's going to be from Chinese dragon to Chinese dragon 2 to Chinese dragon 3 to your Chinese dragon 4, render 4, as it would be. So now we're going to go to our render 4, which is our last render. And we're going to go to the blend tool again, and we're just going to faintly smudge out the dragon like this. So you get some cool effects going on there, like that. Okay, so that's our first layer done, and then we're going to go to our second one, and again smudge this out. And now we're going to set this to vivid or hard light. So I'm going to set mine to vivid light and set the opacity to 95%, 90%. I'm actually going to select all my layers, and I'm actually just going to shrink it a little to help it later on. Like so, and then we're going to shrink them a little. I've got to quickly go to the rubber tool and just okay, I actually can't do that. I'll keep it as it is now. Set this to 90% on vivid light. Okay, now move on to our second to top layer, and again we're just gonna smudge it out like so. Actually, this time we're gonna drop the strength to about 30 and size the brush to around about 20, and then you can just sort of do this backwards and forwards sort of over the top, and that gives it like another light faint texture on top. And then for our last one, we're going to simply put the strength even lower to 20%. So no, we're going to put the strength to 40%, my bad, and then drop the brush to about 10. And then we're just going to slightly smudge it so it's out of focus slightly, not completely. So now that's basically our dragon done. I'm actually going to go and place my dragon again, like this, and this time I'm going to blow the image up and place it here. And I'm going to name this center, rasterize it, and set the opacity to 40%, so you get that like really nice effect there. And then I'm actually going to copy that. I'm going to name this number 2, drag it behind it, filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and add a Gaussian blur to this one of 7, like that. You notice now it's giving it a different tone. I'm actually going to up the opacity of this one to 50%. I might bring this one up to 100%. So I'm going to leave this at 40%, like so. I'm going to drop this one 30%. So we've got like a nice effect going on there, actually. I quite like it. I mean, even on this image here, I might be able to just sort of desaturate this one, make it look a bit different. Yeah, I might actually desaturate all these images. Image adjustments, desaturate. Image adjustments, desaturate. I actually prefer it like that. So I've just gone and desaturated all my images. You can go do that at the beginning before you even decide to do the steps that I've done. That's up to you. But I prefer the colour scheme. It looks a lot nicer now than before. It works really well. I quite like that. So that's looking. It's come into shape now. We just got to do our text now. I've got this font called Crash, which I'm going to be using. Twist. I might actually try to think of some words to do. Might just do dragon because it works. The gradient overlay. I've just got a black. I'll make it this simple. A grey to almost a black colour, like that. Make the text a bit bigger, like so. Add a stroke, probably put this to about 2 or 1, each 2. Make this a nice colour, white. Might be able to set this to the inside, and that outside looks better. Okay, I'm not going to put a stroke on. I'm going to do an outer glow and set this to white and set it to overlay, like so. Put this size up to 6. Just going to add a outer glow, no, what is it? Inner shadow, 3, like so, just gives the text some depth. And then I'm just gonna add and that's basically your text done, I think. I'd prefer to use 3D text, but I don't have the time to go into Cinema 4D right now and make it. But yeah, I would actually recommend using Cinema 4D generated text. It looks much nicer. Might put an inner glow on this as well. White overlay. Bump up the opacity, bump up the size to like 9. No, 7. And that's your text. I'm actually going to duplicate this, Control T, the free transform tool, and then I'm going to do perspective, but I need to rasterize this first. So rasterize type, and then do that, right click, perspective, and I'm just going to drag it out like that. Drag that behind. Drop the opacity to about 40%. And then we've got a nice effect going on in the background. Might actually upload this thing on that. Okay, I've kind of made it 3D. That works for me. It looks okay. A bit skeptical about it. Hey ho, it's just a tutorial. You can obviously do whatever the hell you want. So that's that. And then I'm actually going to add some brushes really quickly. I'm just going to call this brushes. We're basically done now. I've just got some of these Chinese brushes which I just wanted to try out because I found them. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this like so. Drag this to like the bottom of everything. Color overlay. Make it black. Right. And I have an indent layer style which I made ages ago, and it's really handy to have. Okay, that is quite powerful. Okay, so that's a brush. Bring that up a little bit, actually, like so, and then I want to add one more. I'll reposition it. Make it bigger, actually. Like so. And I'm just going to add one more brush. So I'm going to copy this layer style, delete that, because for some reason it blurred around the edges. And I'm going to add a different one. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. I'm going to resize this. Like so. Paste the layer style. I think these brushes were as good quality as what I thought they were. It is frustrating. Okay, that actually looks alright. I found an alright one. I'm going to resize that. And then I'm going to drag this to the bottom as it already is. Opacity 40%. So it just fades it out. And then I might duplicate it. drag it up, make it a lot bigger, like that. Drag it behind this one. I should put the opacity on this one to 60%. And this one down a lot more, about 20, 30%. Make this one 40%. I want to do this one, I don't like it. And then we'll just do one more. Finish this off, because I'm not sure how long this is. Hopefully this video isn't that long. I really do hope so. Okay, so that's basically it, guys. Is how to create a quite a nice signature. I think that's actually pretty nice, and I would actually use that signature for something. I quite like it. I think it looks pretty cool. Anyway, this is my first episode of how to create nice signatures. Of course, you can also, on the background here, you can do a inner shadow if you wanted to. No, I would actually choose inner glow because it goes around the whole outside. Make it black. Set it to normal. Drag the opacity up to 100. Drag the opacity to 70%. Drag this up to around about 10, and you've got like a really nice beveled edge there. And then one last thing, if you really wanted to pull out all the stops, is go to the rounded rectangle tool with the round edges and change it to 15 pixel round edge, which is up there. 15 pixels. Resize this to fit the thing, so make sure it snaps. That's what I'm doing here. Make sure the edges snap like that, and check it to make sure it's all okay. And then go to your background layer, hold the control button, select thumbnail so it does a selection, Control Shift I on your background, hit delete, Control D, delete the round rectangle, and then you have your signature. So thanks guys for watching. It was a really simple tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more of these series and everything. Bye guys.